Okay, I think we're live. So, hello everyone. It's Kenyon here. It's Basketball Rewind, and there you go, Coach.
Oh, sorry about that, people.
Coach is settling in to talk about about Game 6 of the finals. Coach, did you manage to catch much of the game at all? Because I know you've had a busy day. So
I saw a little bit. I saw a little bit of it, but mainly it was the first half. I didn't see much the second half. So certainly, I'll be looking forward to hearing your guys' analysis of the game.
yeah, sorry, my zipper keeps hitting my keeps hitting my headphones, so I don't want it's not the most pleasant sound. Um, yeah, I mean we can kind of break it down quarter by quarter. Um, Let me just pull up a few things here. So of course the final score was 108 to 91. I missed the last 3 minutes of the game because by then the game was done. So I can't speak on the very last minute, but at one point the Pacers were up by 30. It was a shellacking. They came out and let me put it this way: they came out and they were struggling to kind of score initially. So just to kind of give you my perspective, is they were really struggling to score, and then out of nowhere, they finally swung the ball to Siakam. I believe his first shot was a three. And then from there, just everything kind of came together as they kind of the ball movement was working pretty well. I think they used not Nemhard, Halliburton more as a decoy, so that was something that was done really well, and that allowed for them to play more inside. Now there were a couple mistakes that they made early on, but one thing that they did do, in my opinion, Coach, is they really took care of the game of the possession battle. So they started off, I think the first, I want to say like 6 to 8 minutes, and to me, what I noticed at that point was they were, I think the turnover battle at that point was 6-1 in favor of Indiana. And so that's how Indiana started off the game, even though they were sluggish from an offensive standpoint. There's beyond, even though they were kind of sluggish from an offensive standpoint, they really had it going from the just in terms of like taking care of the ball, and they found the right pace. Beyond, we're just starting to talk about the game,
Yeah,
and just
sorry
just
about that,
just getting it started. So yeah,
guys. Sorry
The
about that.
turnover battle was
all good.
pretty lopsided,
Yeah,
like it has been for most of this series. Whoever has the least amount of turnover seems to win the game. What a shock!
absolutely. Absolutely. Now we're gonna go through this, and if we have enough time permitting, we will do a mock draft quickly, and we'll see. JD might show up. I gave him the link, so and
Oh,
then
JD cameo tonight.
we might get a JD cameo. So yeah.
Um,
But yeah, so I mean, before I go, I just gave like the general score and how the game kind of started off. I said it was sluggish. Your thoughts on the beginning of the game were kind of just going like almost like probably first half, second half type stuff. Not
well,
much to
like,
talk about the second half though, to be
yeah,
fair.
I mean, no, not really. But when you get these game sixes and game
Appreciate it,
seven,
by the way.
yeah, I guess the game sixes and game sevens, I think it starts getting down to like mindset and character. Because at this point, everybody knows what everyone's doing at this point, and it's like essentially, it's like it is a little bit reductive, but it is who wants it that bad, and who in this case is willing to do what they need to do, and who's not shook. Um, the extra day helped Halliburton. He definitely seemed like a guy who was in a different space. I also think he had different mindsets we talked about, during the game. He was looking to
Yeah.
attack. He wasn't looking to pass. He was looking to score. And I think he has to continue to think that way. Like, forget about passing. You need to be putting up 20, 25 points in these games for your team to have a chance to win. They stuck with it more tonight. Like, I thought they moved the ball around real well. Neesmith, the role guys played well tonight. That's what it comes down to. Really, honestly, this series more than any other finals, the role players are actually what's determining these finals. The turnovers, but the role players. The role players that play well, your team has won. Role players don't play well, your team's gonna lose. And tonight, TJ McConnell was great. Toppin was pretty good. Hey, for the most part, until Bradley did decide to give a forearm shiver like his WWE, he had some nice minutes out there too. The you
So
know the
what you're saying is you can't rely on Lou Dort to scorch the earth every single time. Hey JD, by
exactly.
the way.
I mean, all this talk about the depth of the OKC bench, man, and for most of this series, man, they've been on milk cartons.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm
He's a bit
trying to
shortening the
find
rotation.
Isaiah Joe. I'm looking for Wiggins. I mean, he's had some nice moments, but for the most part, Williams, the other Williams, can't find that dude. Like, there's a lot of dudes coming off the bench, man, right now. They got to put APBs out on for, man.
Yes, yes. Giovanni, I will talk about the draft later on, but we're just going to cover the finals first, and then we can. Yeah. Again, as I say, it's Basketball Rewind. Want to talk about relevant hoops. So yeah, JD, how are you doing, man? And did you watch much of the game?
I'm tired. I just got back from my pickup game. I actually caught most of the I actually caught most of the second quarter onwards.
Okay. Hey,
So
was-
it's
that
not
was
too
the
bad.
quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
was-
watched the key quarter.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. What were your? Do you have any major takeaways? And how do you feel coming out of this one?
Well, I didn't see the first I didn't see the first quarter, but I saw what's his name, Bobby Marks. He tweeted something like how the Pacers were playing so fast, they're basically starting their offense at 22 seconds onwards on the clock, right? And that's really good. That's what I was hoping for, because the Pacers has to come into this game with all the with all the marbles in there, right? They have to push the pace as much as they can, because they can't slow the game down, right? And at least looking at what they did, like from the second quarter onwards, they played with a purpose, right? It's not just about playing fast. Like
Yes.
they, like games, the other game, like in OKC, they were playing fast, but like they didn't really know what they were trying to do. That's why they're turning the ball over and over, right? Like there's a lot of like hesitation, indecision. It's like, let's run fast and then figure something out after. But like tonight, they're playing fast with a purpose. That's my main takeaway from this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've messaged you this. I've talked to Beyond about this. I've made this point a couple times, even on this channel, where ball movement's all well and good. I love the beautiful Spurs, but it can't be aimless. It can't be directionless. It has to be ball movement with purpose. I know people talk about, as the ball moves around, it gains energy. That's all great. You can move it on until there's as much energy as possible, even though it doesn't really actually make energy. But the thing is that it has to go with a purpose. Otherwise,
Yeah,
it's just
like a good example is like early on with the Raptors offense. Yes, we're playing hot potato with the ball, but we have 4 seconds left, and Yak's got the ball, and he's looking around like what to do with the ball, right?
Yes, then grenade, grenade to Grady, or grenade to who insert player over the years, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, just to kind of dig deeper into the charts of the game as well. So I'm actually curious who won the rebounding battle tonight. So it was actually Pacers won the rebounding battle. And by the way, 13 rebounds by Siakam, great job. Turner also was going up for some big rebounds, but 16 steals. Wow. And so 58 to 52 for the rebounding battle, and they basically had half the amount of turnovers and capitalized on the turnovers. So it's 10 to 21. The shooting is actually pretty similar from the field. A field goal is, from 3-pointer, it's them. But the key thing here is that the Pacers, and I noticed this early on, like with TJ McConnell, like you got to make your free throws. Like he started off with going to the line, missed 2 in a row. I'm like, oh come on, man, you got him. You're gonna go to the line. You got to make at least one, and ideally 2. So that's one thing they got to clean up.
One thing that's actually really good. One thing that's actually really good is I think the Pacers won a lot of those Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet rebounds, where like the ball like bounced like all the way to the 3-point line, like maybe because of the deflections, but those are like backbreakers.
Yeah, I saw Siakam get in the middle, and he was tapping it out a couple of times. Even the 3-pointer to end the third quarter, where Ben Shepherd got that 3-pointer, and that was from a broken play that turned into a tap out.
Yeah,
and so it's just they can beat this team on activity. we'll see with Hallie, because I do think that Hallie is having to shift into a different role, but it ends up probably working out for him. Coach, your thoughts before we go into like the overall thoughts of this game.
I kind of missed what you were saying there, but could you repeat what you were talking about?
Basically, we're talking about the activity level and the amount of tap outs. Also, Siakam, I forgot to mention, but he caught a body. So, man, he caught a body. Oh man, Jalen Williams. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I thought he was locking him up. I guess not on that play. Oh my goodness.
You mean he's not on the decline, right?
He on that play, it looked like he's Jalen Williams is on a milk carton, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, this
Talked
is
that
what
joint back, banged it on him.
this is what Siakam's been doing for a while. He's an all-star. He's an all-NBA player. Indiana, I think, with that home crowd, just there's something about playing at home. You just have so much energy, so much adrenaline. It picks you up anywhere you go. That's why I want to see 7 games of this series. Quite honestly, we see OKC when they were playing in Oklahoma, how good they are. So now it's literally may the best man win.
Absolutely. Let's just get to some comments really quickly. Yeah, if Hallie is struggling just from a athletic standpoint right now, maybe separating them out, especially since TJ does TJ things. He kind of goes rogue in a sense, which is both a good. It's a high wire act, but it can be a good thing. And I think for this finals, you probably need someone to step up. And I think he's getting better. There was actually a moment where I think it was him and Nemhard and then Tony Bradley on the floor. It was a weird lineup in terms of the bigs. And Tony Bradley was just doing Tony Bradley things and like trying to like muck up the middle and just like he for no reason like pushed Hartenstein and like Hartenstein kind of like embellished it, but like you're up 20, enjoy the moment, slow it down, calm it down. And you can see, I think Beyond pointed this out to me, it's like you can see TJ McConnell just kind of basically telling the guys like can we slow down, guys, like chill out, we don't need to have a fight when we're up by 20, heading into the end of the third. So yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm just catching up on that.
No, I'm seeing a cool cat.
Oh, well,
I like that one.
Man, sucks to suck. All right, so keep it moving.
Yeah,
Beyond, you were saying.
SOL for them. Yeah, this is what real basketball looks like, folks.
This is a good point. Game 7, you gotta shorten that bench rotation. Like,
absolutely.
Look,
I saw LeBron play like 46 minutes one night in a game, or 40, maybe it's 48 actually. I don't remember, but
well, to be fair to Carlisle, he was starting to cut the bench down. I mean, till the fourth quarter got out of hand, Mathurin wasn't really seeing any serious minutes, and Mathurin was where I don't know what you might see in Game 7. Mathurin could be like pretty much a bagel, or Mathurin might give you 30. And actually went up and said, I don't know what's going to be in that Cracker Jack box. He's got to throw Mathurin out there to see what he has in the first 5 minutes and say, okay, we got good Mathurin tonight. Let's ride it. Because he's the type of guy who could win you a game by himself. That's how talented he is. Well, and you got to give it a shot. You got to give it a shot in the second quarter to see what he's got.
It reminded me of like that one game against the Nets where Nurse put out Terrence Davis and like he gave him 2 minutes. He's like, nope, coming back. It's just like
Matthew reminds me of this series a little bit.
2 minutes.
Yeah, some of the old school guys will understand. Now the persona is not quite like that because he got his nickname for a reason. But from a playing standpoint of what you never do what you get, you remind me a bit of Vernon Maxwell. You don't know which Vernon Maxwell you were going to get that night if you're Houston. Now he might start a brawl, he might get 3 points. Or he might score 35 and talking trash to everybody on the court. You didn't know which one you're going to get. And Matthew was a bit like that, where it's like, except for the brawls, but I mean, heck, he's been a few scuffles already in these playoffs. So I mean, he's had his moments already. I'll just say this: you don't know what you're going to get, but he's too talented not to try playing to see what you might get because he's got one of them type of attitudes. That Game 7, he might just decide to show up and say, "Hey guys, this is why I'm the 4th pick overall." He's one of the type of dudes.
The interesting thing is that as we zoom out on an NBA wide lens, this team of the Pacers has been primarily built off of trades for the most part. Like like that's something that's very interesting. A lot like Neesmith was a Boston pick.
Didn't give up much for him.
Halliburton, their star, traded for early on, identified the talent, went and got him. Siakam, traded for. Turner's one of the only dudes who's like basically been a lifer at this point, which is really interesting.
Yeah, the only Indiana guys are him and Nembhard were in the rotation.
Yeah. I
That's
guess you could count
And
like,
Matherin.
And Matherin, right.
Is Shepard
Those two.
technically or no? Was Shepard?
Shepard might be one of theirs too, actually. Yeah. So they blended
Yeah.
it from
Like there's guys on, but like their key top 5
Yeah.
guys is not necessarily all, all team Indiana originally.
Well, they also
that's
got
the
Obi
thing.
Toppin for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't start my father on that one as a Knicks fan. Don't get him started on that one. If there's ever a trade in the last 10 years that just gets his goat going, is that deal. It's like, he'll just, if you bring up Toppin, he's watching games like, and the Knicks traded him for nothing. I understand what the trick, there was no pressure to even trade Toppin. It's just like, oh, one day we just wake up, Toppin's moved for pretty much nothing. For nothing.
Now, I do want to shout out a couple people on the other side. I mean, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is just a treat to watch. I mean, it's just he had this move early on in the first. No, sorry, I think it was closer. Was it the first or the third? He had so many, but where he kind of like it was almost like a stunner stop. So he'd start, stop, and start, and then like just got to the hoop, and like they just didn't know what to do with him from that standpoint. Like he just. I mean, obviously they slowed him down a little bit tonight, but in general, like he gets to his spots when he wants, how he wants. Incredible. But beyond, you made a point about when Siakam's on either him or Jalen, they kind of struggle. Chet missed a dunk tonight, so that wasn't good.
Let me tell you something, boy. Right now, they got the search party out for Chet right now, man. Sorry, man. they out here, they got the dogs out. They got the flyers out. Like, have you seen this man? 7'1", played for Gonzaga. Have you seen him? Like,
4 points, 6 rebounds, 0 of 3 from 3, no steals, no blocks. Negative -11. Now, mind you, Jalen Williams was -40 tonight, but
And I thought actually he was playing pretty well in the first half, but
he was.
I think to be fair to Williams, I think it's a lot to do with the lineups he was with. But Chet, I mean, if Chet plays anything close to what coach has described, okay, Indiana's gonna be your next NBA champions. Okay,
100%.
Yeah.
It ain't no more of like, oh, we can coddle this and he's a year away. No, dude, it's now. It's now. All right, you're the number 2 pick overall. It's now. Ain't no kind of like we gonna massage this. We gonna no. The time is now. We can't have you sitting on here and being a bystander.
Ain't no time like the present.
Exactly. Like this is why they pay you. This is why you're the number 2 pick overall, man.
JD, you were saying? Oh, you muted yourself.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Oh, that was me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh,
I
sorry.
was just about to say what Pascal Siakam stay. I think that's her.
It is
40 minutes at Siakam is the minimum.
Yep.
That's 2 minutes a quarter that he sits, and that should be the minimum. Like he
Right.
probably really should be playing 42 or 43
Right.
minutes.
We need to give 5 extra minutes for Tony Bradley. I'm a good Tar Heel fan too, but come on now. Like we need game 7 now. Come on now. I ain't put my sister into Tony Bradley at this point. No thanks. I mean, he's been serviceable, but this ain't the time for serviceable. It's all hands on deck. You're a baseball man like me, coach, and it's game 7 in this case here. Every starter ain't pitching this night. You get in the bullpen in case we need you. Give me 1 inning, 2 outs, whatever it is. Jack Morris is in there warming up. He ain't pitching that night, okay? This is it. I love that about sports. When it's game 7, all bets are off, guy.
Yeah.
Everyone's playing. Anyone that can play that's been playing, you're playing 40 minutes. A 4 or a high 3-8, but 3 better be in front of that game in minutes on Monday night or Sunday night. It can't be that. Now, here's the thing. One last thing on this, though. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They get the extra day, which is good for Halliburton. I would shorten this bench. I'll give Mathurin 5 minutes in the first half. If I ain't seeing nothing, sorry, man. We got to cut that. And it's like, and my bench is going to end up being pretty much McConnell and Toppin for the rest of this run, for the rest of the series.
So, just so you know, I'm just setting up a mock draft. If you guys want to, we can do.
Okay, get your mock draft
later. Yeah, no, keep going.
You're interested about this though. This is actually tied to the draft. Where's my man Tyler Rucker right now when he hears this, man? Oh boy, I hope he's actually listening to this one. You know who would be really helpful for this series if he was actually healthy?
Who?
Topic.
Yes.
They don't have a guy in this case. They don't have another guy off that bench.
Hypothetically, yes.
Hypothetically, he would be that.
Hey, Arlene.
They got a lot of guys out here just standing still looking for someone to pass them the ball. They ain't got a lot of guys off that bench who can make their own offense.
So yeah, what do you
all
who are you all picking for game 7 as of today? I know it just happened, all that type of stuff, but who are you picking?
My brain tells me the home team. But I got a funny feeling in the pit of my stomach right now. I'm just saying.
So you're calling OKC.
I call it OKC, but it ain't a strong OKC. I'm putting it that way.
You're not like there was someone on Twitter recently that was talking about losing money in this series and big money, and I think
so. I think you better watch some folks, man. I think some folks are in the mental health profession on Sunday. Best be on call. Let's put it that way. I ain't even joking, man. With the amount of gambling going on and how this was a prohibited favorite, further than even being game 7, some folks are already freaking out already. If it's a one possession game in the fourth quarter, you all better check on some folks around here, boys, around this globe. Let me tell you something.
I have no comment.
No comment, because Vegas is going to take a bath. Vegas is the first one's going to be taking a bath on this puppy. Okay, Nick Wright showed it about 3 days ago and showed the prohibitive favorites in NBA history. I think they're like the 5th biggest favorite of all time, folks, of all time. If they win this, the Pacers, it arguably, I would say it is the biggest upset ever in NBA Finals history.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. This is probably some of the best finals basketball that I've seen, where like the teams have like gone back and forth in a while. I know like Miami was in the finals not that long ago, but you know, yeah.
The last time we were here, boys and girls.
Yes. So, Coach, who are you picking, and then JD, who are you picking?
The home team, OKC, but I'm rooting for the Pacers. I can't tell you how much I am. I'm saying if I was
Y'all
betting,
are haters.
if I was betting, I'm going to pick OKC. And Harley, you call me Uncle Coach? I like that. I make my night. That's good. I like that.
And JD?
Well, if the whistles are okay, like decent, I would go with the Pacers for 2 reasons. One is I'm gonna have to give the Pacers the head coaching advantage.
Yes.
I think Carlisle will coach the hell out of this game, right? He's gonna micromanage everything from tip off to the last possession. Second thing is, I think, and just like beyond what you guys are saying, you know, like the minutes are gonna be, or the rotation is gonna be shorter. It's gonna be a lactic acid game. And the Pacers play better with lactic acid than OKC.
I mean, Pascal alone is like probably one of the best conditioned athletes in this finals. So, I mean, I'll put myself on the spot and I'll say, you know what, I'm gonna go with Pacers.
Whoa, you've been Mr. OKC here across the chest for years. What's going on here?
I have been, but I'm sorry, but I said OKC in 6. It's not 6.
I swore you have a Cowboy
Switch the jersey. Switch to the jersey.
Yeah.
See? I can't believe this.
Or the hat, the draft hats.
Yeah.
Like, I am disappointed, Kenya, as a man here in this case. I would be honorable with the takes. I am surprised you were going back on your take. You were strong on OKC every
Yeah,
series.
listen. I have been, and I've been right every series.
Yes.
But right now, I don't know. There's something about this Pacers team, and I think that like they they have the chess pieces to beat this team.
They do.
They can beat themselves out of this.
They're oddly like a team of destiny in some fashion. It's almost like they actually should be here, but you wouldn't exactly pick them to be in the finals.
Yeah.
Like if this was a month ago.
I mean, in every single matchup up until this finals, they've been the underdog. I'm still taking. I took them originally. If you remember, I took them
Mhm.
originally going to the conference finals.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways they remind me a bit. In some ways, they remind me a bit of the 19 Raptors, and they remind me a lot of the 03. 03, I think is when my boys won Pistons.
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
they're a very difficult team to actually like scout for. Because you don't know when there's a ticking time bomb. You just don't know when it's going to go off and who's going to go off from, right? We sit here tonight and we're talking about Mathurin, and we know Halliburton do this, and Miles Turner might drop 25 in Game 7. That is
He might show up.
yeah, and don't be surprised. And you're sitting there going like, what the heck?
That's what I mean. You
Right,
you
that's
said
how-
it before, right? Like the
Yeah.
scoring droughts, and that's why I don't feel confident in OKC. Is that like they go through scoring droughts? You know that Shea's going to be the bus driver. You know that Jalen's going to be along for the ride, and then it's like after that, I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
I just don't know, and so they can't have scoring droughts, and that's what I mean. Is that like OKC has. They don't have the consistent even in some ways. Oh, I'll say Chet or Jalen has been able to elevate his game to a consistent number two. But if people want to put Pascal's number two, he's still been the most consistent player in this entire series
I
on
think
either
that,
squad.
well, I ranked it when we were offline. I ranked all the guys that played minutes in this case here. I didn't put Tony Bradley in the minutes, but all the guys that played consistently, I think I put Bryant in. And when you started going down the list, by the time we got to about the 15th player within the group, I would say probably it was like something like 10-6 or 10-5 or 10 to for like the Pacers. When you think about it, because when you look at it this way, the question is, and the thing what you're getting at, Kenny, is like there's about five players in this case in the Pacers at any given night they can score 25 or more points.
And I
Five
also
or
know what I'm generally gonna get from them too.
Right,
Like,
right.
Like Hallie, yes, will have ups and downs, but throughout a game, he'll be contributing. There are just times where, like Lou Dort today, where it's like Lou Dort had his game. Like he's not gonna have another.
Right.
I don't assume that he's going to have another 20-point game.
Right.
Or
Which
some
one?
crazy explosion.
Exactly. Which one's
Am
more
I
likely?
crazy, guys?
No. But which one's more likelier? If we say Game 7, Nembhard gets 25 points. In this case, they win Game 7. Or in this case here, Caruso gets 25 plus points and they win Game 7.
Yeah.
I think he's the key.
Beyond, I'll do you one better.
Hmm?
Like I'll do you one better. Like every month for the Pacers, there's this big X factor that would play like peak Ray Allen once a month,
Exactly.
and we haven't seen him in this series yet. And I think he's due. Like Neesmith is gonna explode, you know.
Yeah, you're right. He's been real quiet. He started warming up tonight a little bit. Like there's guys that can get 30 on any given night for this team out of the blue. Topping even give you 25. There's nobody on the bench in this case. Maybe Joe gets hot and hits 5 threes. Maybe he might get there. But do you think in Game 7 you expect Isaiah Joe? He might. Who knows? Lou Dort has played well in big games. Lou Dort might show up. I remember the Game 7 years ago when he was a rookie with Chris Paul. Yeah, huge game. I think they're playing Houston, and he came up big in that game. I think they lost the game, but he played great. He might do so again, but they need more than just Lou Dort. At some point, it still comes back to that bench and Chet. And if those two ain't showing up, they ain't winning this championship.
I think the key for Indiana too, though, is you're right on the OKC side. I think Nembhard's the key because Halliburton and Siakam have to play well in OKC. They have to, or else they get no chance. Who's going to be that third guy? For me, it's Nembhard. If he's able to get his own shot, create, and make jumpers that he's certainly capable of doing, but he also has this just ability to really get into the paint. I think he's the key to Game 7. If he plays well like he did tonight, second leading scorer, they get a shot.
Okay, so
Draft.
it is draft talk. We will answer a couple of questions, and then we will do a mock draft. JD, if you're down to do a
We're
mock
doing
draft.
it today. Okay.
Let's,
We're going
let's,
in,
I'm buckled up. Let's go through this. I have
Okay.
Fanspo fired up because that takes up so much memory on my computer. So and I even did an Excel spreadsheet. I had to do it twice because the random in between all three of us got the same number. So I did it the second time. It's technically there's two of us got the same number, but that's okay. So it goes. And beyond, I swear this is not I didn't do this on purpose. You are technically picking last. Okay. I'm picking third. And Coach and JD are tied. So between that, I'm going to now do I just did it. And JD, you got number 1. So you are.
Yeah.
So we'll do it in this order.
Hey.
So it goes JD, Coach, myself, and beyond.
Are we doing snake style? Or are we doing?
Yeah, I think we should do snake style. Yeah.
Okay. So
let's do snake style. Until the end of the lottery, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just gonna move this out.
Hey JD, man, don't give me no type of Bush League stuff as a Mavericks fan. You decide to pick in this case here, like Malawak or something like that, man. Like, hey, man.
We're not doing any trades, by the way.
It feels like I'm missing a turn here because the first pick is too obvious,
Yes, that is true.
Is the first two obvious? Or is it obvious the first two?
I mean,
okay, I'll just take Ace Bailey right now.
Hold on, let me just share my screen.
Oh man, Ace.
Okay, so let's see. Can I just share?
I tell you, Fanspo's getting a workout these days, man.
Hey, Matt Stevens.
Hey, what's up?
No.
I'll see that name in a minute.
I'm slowly warming up, Matt, to your John Morant.
He sees the options available.
Hold on.
The options available maybe now. I don't know.
Hey,
Let me
man.
just. I'm used to having two screens.
Day old pizza's not so bad when you see what's out there as the options in the fridge, right?
Jeez.
Like, oh, geez, you got some sardines in here.
All right, sorry, hold on. I'm used to having two screens, so it's easier to
Like,
share.
I'll take the pizza if that's what's remaining.
Okay.
Oh, man. Hey, while he's getting that set up, man, just a point of privilege here, man. I just want to mention this because this is news here. Take a look, folks, if you're doing it. This news that came out yesterday about the Lakers and the sale of the Lakers.
Oh, I did want to get to that, but I thought we'd do that on the Sunday show. But
on the Sunday show? Oh, we got the Sunday. Okay, my apologies.
I mean, hey, if you don't want to come through.
No, man. That does need to breathe a little bit, so that's okay, man. That's okay. We can do a Sunday show. Boy, that's big news.
Okay, you guys can see my screen?
It's
Got
coming.
it.
You can see Fanspo up.
My man there, man. It'll be looking good.
Okay, so we're going to just do no trades just to speed it up. Just easier. Okay, so how do I... Okay, I've never actually used this before. So, JD, you're on the clock. Who do you take?
Do I get the full 5 minutes?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, everyone. I'm gonna get a clock out. Everyone has like 2 minutes.
2 minutes? We need 2 minutes.
Okay. 30 seconds.
You get 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Come on now. We've been talking
Otherwise, I'm
this.
gonna be here like the real thing.
It's so obvious. Cooper's gonna go number 1.
That's
you
right.
Sure, you sure you don't want to use the whole 30 seconds?
To think about Ace Bailey?
Yeah.
And my man, he's
I don't know. Might cost you, JD.
Okay, so Cooper, the pick
It's okay.
is
We'll
in.
trade Cooper anyway.
Okay, Coach, you're on the clock. You're the Spurs. You have the second pick in this draft.
Okay. I will go with the best player available. I will go with Dylan Harper, number 2.
Okay, Dylan.
I don't
come
like
on
the
down.
fit. I'd
Coach,
rather trade the pick.
if he
but
gave
I'll
you the
go with
option,
Dylan.
you answered my question. If he gave you options for trade, you would trade the pick.
He's out the door.
Okay.
Okay,
I still
hold
think you're
on.
gonna trade that pick.
Yep.
We're on the 76ers. You are on the
Now
clock.
fun begins. Come on, Maury. What are you gonna do?
Okay, so right, that's me. You know what? I'm
Let's go
gonna
Ace.
go. I'm gonna go with. Oh
Call the
man.
bluff.
Nah, I'm gonna go with VJ.
Oh,
Hey,
VJ.
Nick Nurse is loving that.
Nick Nurse
Okay.
is loving that.
And
Okay.
I don't mean me. I mean Nick Nurse is loving that.
Beyond, you are the Hornets. I am so sorry, but you are on the clock.
Okay.
15 seconds left already.
I
Hey,
love my man Ace here, but it doesn't make sense for it. I still think I need a big man, so I'm gonna pick Malawatch.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Raptors are
Malawatch.
now trading back.
Yeah, exactly.
The Mark Williams situation is getting too dicey. You gotta get
Yeah.
yourself a player.
Okay, so now you are back on the clock because we're going snake order, and you are the Utah Jazz.
This is the pick that I don't think anyone has a clue what's going on in Utah. Okay. You know what? I know the logic tells me. I know what my heart's saying, but based on the team they have there, honestly they should pick Ace Bailey. If to be honest, I know he would hate it, but Ace Bailey's the pick.
Okay, are you taking Ace Bailey? Because the time is now up.
I'm taking Ace Bailey.
Okay.
And Danny Ainge, I'm taking Ace Bailey. I like long wings that can shoot and be two-way players. I like Tatum. I like what Taylor Hendricks is supposed to be. I'm taking Ace Bailey.
Okay, now it's me. I am the Washington Wizards. Malawatch is off the board, right?
Yep.
Oh man. You know what? Ooh, this is actually a tough one. I think I'm gonna go with Trey. There we go.
Yep. Scorer, man. Score supreme.
I'm gonna move off Jordan Poole or someone. I'm gonna start someone else can have the pool party, and that is that. We will recap the draft at this point later on. Coach, you're on the clock. The 7th pick, and already there's a lot of guys on the board, but a lot of guys just got taken off the board too. But your man Fears is on the board. What are you going to do?
It's very easy for me. Murray's out for the year. I need a point guard who is going to be the point guard of my future. I think he is the best talent
Yegor?
clearly left. And my man, Jeremiah Fears.
Okay, Yegor, come on
I
down.
got Fears. I got the third, and I'm trying something different with Zion. I don't know what, but we try.
That sounds like a date with League Pass for me, boy. Let me tell you right there.
Yep.
Absolutely. I'll be generous with these ties, just so you know. So, JD, the time starts now. You are the Brooklyn Nets, which means that you are also going to be the Raptors pick.
You guys are putting me in the spot here. Like the pick that I wanted to go to the Raptors is the one that I'm actually selecting for the next Nets right now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with Noah.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with someone else like Con Knipple.
I'm not a big fan of Con. I'm not a big fan of Fierce. Not a big fan of Con.
Okay.
Noah Asenge is in Brooklyn. Hey, the people I spoke with the other night, they seem to really like him.
Okay.
I
You
think
are
Brooklyn
back
is
on
in
the
a
board.
position to open a mystery box right now.
And
So
everyone's
they'll be-
favorite team in this team, the beloved Toronto Raptors, on the clock.
I can't see the chat, by the way. So, someone says something interesting. Let me know.
It says free Zion.
Okay, so like for the Raptors, I'm gonna go with Kasparas.
Ooh.
I like it. I like it. I'm just gonna make sure that this isn't too loud of a thing, and that is that. We are gonna go.
JD, can I ask JD why?
Yeah. Why JD? Why?
Stylistically, I think he'd be a good fit. He can play on and off the ball, right? And I think if whatever we're trying to do flops, like we have like like a quick pivot move right there.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Six point guard. Haven't had one.
I like Igor too. Like Igor, like I like that guy, but this guy can do a whole lot more off the ball.
Coach, you're up next. You are the Rockets. You have 30 seconds, sir.
I am the Houston Rockets right now. Oh,
This is such a wonky draft already.
I'm going to go a little off the board on this. I'm going to roll with Thomas Sorber.
Whoa.
Okay, even though that is time, but even though they just re-signed,
Steven Adams.
they just re-signed Steven Adams.
He's going to be hurt maybe the first part of the season. You get some time with him, and I think they're pretty set on their guards and their wings moving forward. You never know with Steve Adams also has an injury history too. I want to be safe. I like having 3 centers.
Question for Coach.
Yep.
Coach, if you're the Houston Rockets and the board played out like this, would you consider trading down?
Yeah, because I might consider trading down.
Okay.
I mean, I also might get Kevin Durant. So
Fair enough. I'm next. I already know who I'm going to pick. There was a part of me that wanted to go with Asanuo for the Portland Trail Blazers, but instead I'm going to go with Derek Queen. I actually think he fits really nicely next to Klingon.
Yep.
And so that's why I'm going to go with that. Okay, now Beyond, you are next, and you are the Chicago Bulls.
Chicago. Okay. Chicago.
Ding, 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 ding.
But I think they're a team knowing how the Chicago mindset is. I'm gonna
Igor?
take I think they need a big and a defensive big and a guy that can run up and down the court with that team that's starting to get more athletic and younger. So I'll go with my man from Georgia, man. Asa Newell, man.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were gonna say CMB.
Oh man.
No, we like to score in Chicago. Okay.
Oh man.
So no, we're gonna get that there. So we got Newell there. Vucevic is coming to the end. We haven't really had defensive presence at the center position and the front court for a long time. So
you are up next, by the way, as well.
Okay, who we got here coming up now on the clock?
You of Atlanta. We can keep going. We can go to the end of the first round.
Yeah,
that's fine.
The 30-second timer is keeping us fast.
I know. My gosh.
You're like, oh, what's a V again?
Okay, you know what? I'm going to take in this case here. I'm just going to get a marksman just to kind of, because all the bigs I want are off the board now.
See, the thing is, they have a lot of things. There is one guy that they could take that's interesting, but yeah. Who are you taking?
I'm going to go with Colin Knippel. Best player on the board. So.
Okay. Colin Knippel goes there. I'm surprised that you didn't go in a different direction. Oh, it's me. I'm the Spurs, right?
Yeah. Well, my theory is they got a lot of guys in the wing right now. They're trying to give time to. I need to give Ricochet as much minutes as possible. Double J, he's becoming a pillar. I need him to be playing big minutes. I can't get another young fella in there eating up those type of 3-4 minutes. So let me get some more backcourt help.
All right, so with the Spurs, I think it's pretty easy for me. there's really two guys that I'd be looking at. Maybe Rasheer Fleming, but ultimately I'm going to take Carter Bryant on the Spurs. I think he just fits in perfectly. I think that there's a
Yep.
chance that they might trade Harrison Barnes long term. He has 1 year left anyway, so Carter Bryant fits in perfectly there. I think that that's actually it. So I'm going to take a picture of this and post it online later. But this is the let me just do the
You
thing
know,
right now.
I was almost thinking of picking Bryant, but that's why I didn't pick him because I said, okay, I got Ricochet already kind of playing the 3, and Jalen Johnson playing like a 3-4. It's just like, you know what? Like, where's this kid gonna find time?
Yeah.
And so I said, let me go with the guard because they're, Dyson Daniels is nice, but they need some shooting, I think.
Okay, so that is that. Let's kind of discuss this actually. So I have all the stuff here. I'm gonna just pull it back up. So I don't know if you remember your pick, but I can tell you the order in just a second, unless you remember it. Not a ton of international players going early on, but a couple of them made it. We'll go through and we'll start with JD. Why did you pick Cooper Flag?
Well, so that I can trade him for
What was the thing?
like to the Lakers or
I heard
something.
the most ridiculous thing where they were like trade him for Jaylen Brown, and I was like, why would you trade? Like, okay, let's. Jaylen Brown, who just had a meniscus tear, for starters, let alone anything else. But yeah, or okay, you know what? They should trade him for KD, right? Oh man, Katie and Kyrie are around too. All right, so let's just get this started. You guys can see this. So these are basically the picks. So let's go through it. I can't remember who. If you picked the person, then just explain why you picked. So I mean, there's not too much to explain for the first couple, but yeah. So Coach, why did you pick Dylan Harper for the Spurs? I know in theory we all think that they would like to trade this or trade back or whatever, but explain yourself.
I was picking best player available with this selection.
Yeah.
I think the best fit is Ace. I don't care what anyone says about what he's doing in interviews or what he's not doing or not working out with. I still think the Spurs need a big wing player. But if I'm just going with best player on the board, it's Dylan Harper that you go with. Luckily, they have someone 7'5" who could back all these guys up.
That does help a lot. I think he's going to be a better defender at the next level. He was decent, but I think he is going to be just much better at the next level. I think long term, you almost think that if they were to go back 6 months and they had a crystal ball, they wouldn't have traded for Fox. But hey, sometimes these things happen. There is going to be I think that they are going to do a consolidation move, but it may not happen right away. So yeah. Beyond. Oh, actually, sorry, it is me. Okay, I'll explain myself here. So the reason why I took VJ Edgecombe, all of the reports that are coming out, plus I really like VJ. He's a little small. I did consider, just in terms of like if you were to be more of a wing player, which I have heard people say that he's closer to being a wing. I don't know if I see that. I see him more as a proper two guard. They need defense, especially if they're going to have Maxey out there and Jared McCain out there. So I think it just makes sense for them to take VJ Edgecombe, and they seem to really like him. The reports coming out are actually very, very positive and in his favor. And I was never really worried about him as a person, to be honest. So yeah. Who's after me? I believe
It was Beyond.
It is Beyond. Why did you go with the Duke Center in home country?
Well, Well, that's one thing. Kenyon sending shots out there on poor Ace in this case here, but that's all right.
Yes, yes.
All of a sudden now he's the evil spar of the earth in this case.
I did think about it.
Malawatch, to me, I think they have enough guys in the backcourt that want the ball. And I think if I was thinking that way, if I was looking at Ace in that spot, there's a lot of replication between him and Miller. If I go with another guard, like say something like Trey Johnson, for him to be the best he can be, is he going to be the best he can be when Brandon Miller's going to want shots? And you always got Bridges going to always look for shots.
Right.
And you still got man off the bench is going to be looking for shots. So I say, you know what?
You're saying you're running out of ball to go around.
Yeah, exactly. So we need some front court help. And that Mark Williams situation is not going to end well. I don't care what anyone tells me. It ain't going to end well. So we need some front. And the Yakite, how you can pronounce his name? My apologies to his family. He's a nice kid. Need to get in the weight room a little bit, but I need a little more beef in this case on that front line. So yeah, Malawatch should be the right move, and the fact he's a Duke guy in this case playing in Carolina doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Does Colin Knipple, is that something that at that spot would that interest you?
I don't get the Knipple because the Knipple situation because two things that Charlotte in this case don't need in this case. They don't need more guys from the guard position to score. They got plenty of those dudes. And the second thing they don't need in this case is another guy in the perimeter can't play defense. I'm sorry. I know people are saying, oh, his defense isn't this bad. It's like, listen, I saw Houston give the business to him, and Houston ain't no world beater offense in this case.
Because I was more going with the fact that he plays kind of an off he can play an off-ball role. That's why.
Yeah, but if I'm looking at my needs, I got literally one center and 1 center and a half, I guess you want to call him the French kid center, which he's really not. So I need some front court, man. What are we doing out here? Basketball is meant for tall people. We can't be out there with a bunch of wings in this case and guards. So I understand that
they also have Nick Smith Jr. As well.
Right, there's another guard,
which people seem to forget. I mean, he hasn't had the best. I wasn't the biggest lover of his game, but he is there and he is trying to develop. So
right, and there's already enough whispers in this case that certain people don't want to play the ball. Fair enough, and I could get it if you want to kind of get your career started.
If you're Fears, as an example, that could be one of the guys because it's like if I'm trying to become a point guard, but the ball's always in already two other people's hands. How am I going to learn how to be a point guard?
Well, I think that argument made for a point guard. If you're looking to be a scorer, if you're a scorer by nature, it's where I'm going to find
Trey Johnson as well.
Trey Johnson or Ace. Why would I be? It doesn't make sense. So yeah, Malawatch is my pick for some balance.
Makes sense. You are up again.
This
pick is what?
This was the toughest pick from a psychological standpoint because if there's one team,
you think that he doesn't seem like he's a Mormon man.
Well, I think he's the toughest sell of all the to go to Salt Lake City. He's the toughest pick to go to Salt Lake City. But knowing Danny Ainge's background, Danny Ainge is always looking for the highest talent he could find, and he likes big wings that could be two-way players.
He is a Danny Ainge type of guy, and then Danny Ainge is still going to tank next year and try to get AJ DeBanza to pair with him.
Right.
So.
Look at his recent draft picks: Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Taylor Hendricks. He likes that type of model in this case here. Ace Bailey is literally the definition of it. So it's hard for me to think that Danny Ainge is going to pass at Ace Bailey if he falls in his lap at 5. I mean, he may not, but unless in this case here, it's quite clear now that Yegor is not going to be the hometown kid. He's too much of a reach at 5. So therefore, he's going to take the best talent, I think, and figure it out at that point. So that's why I think he's going to take Ace. And then quite honestly, if he's going to move off of marketing, which he probably will, he's going to need someone that's going to be a focal point on the offense.
Yeah, so I went next. I was Washington, Trey Johnson. This is actually tough. This is one of my tougher picks. At this point, I'm looking at it this way. Are they going to keep Corey Kispert? Maybe not. Are they looking beyond, Jordan Poole being there? I think so, yes. Although I don't think that they'll be able to swing Jordan Poole out this year. But they also have the expiring of like Marcus Smart, for example, that probably will be outgoing. They have Chris Middleton, who you can keep as like, he's getting older now, but he's a nice little veteran piece. So there's enough there. There's enough quote unquote infrastructure, and they don't mind playing the vets off the bench too. We saw that with JV, sorry JD. So I think that's why I took Trey Johnson there. I didn't feel great about it. I did think about Derek Queen. I'll say that. But I didn't. I also wanted to have a little bit of fun in terms of where guys would go. So yeah. After that, Coach, you're up at the Pelicans, and then we'll go to 2 JD picks in a row.
I just think Fears is still 5 on my big board. He has been for like 2 months now. Yeah. Basically. And if the Pelicans and I get him there at 7, I run to the podium just to select him. It made sense. Yeah. I think he has the best handles in this draft. I like his upside. As we've said a gajillion times, that archetype in the NBA usually has a fair amount of success. He's really young and he's got to get stronger and put on more weight. But I think there's enough evidence to say he's going to be a pretty good guard in this league. I'm just a big fan. If he was to fall to 9 to the Raptors, I hope they consider him.
Yeah.
Just looking at pure talent, best player, forget fit.
Just pure talent. They need to take the best player available, and if Fears is there, I'm not. I think it's going to take him 2 years because he need to put on some weight, but he would be a very exciting player. JD, you have 2 picks in a row. You can explain them both together or separately if you want. Nets and Raptors were on the board, and that's how they picked.
Yeah, for the Nets, it's very simple. I mean, there's like if you look at the Nets roster, like is there anybody in that team that will still be on that roster 2 years from now or 3 years from now? Right? Like
maybe
they can afford to take this kind of it's not even a wild swing, like Noah's a mystery box, but like if he pans out, like oh boy, like this could be like top 3 pick in this draft. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. So what do you call it? I like him for the Raptors too, but since I have the Brooklyn hat on, I have to go with Noah, and I have a couple more picks later, right? So that's an easy pick right there.
Was there an argument to have these swapped at all? Because I mean, because Cam Thomas not being a real point guard,
it's hard to deal. It's hard to deal with myself. That's a problem,
right? Right.
But right. I thought about getting a point guard here, like maybe Igor, maybe Kasparas, but I think I think for the Nets, like they could use like a player that could potentially be a marketable player.
Yeah, and I think
I don't want to say a star, but like somebody that could be really good, somebody that would have the hype after.
Yeah, I think if Fears is gone, because I do see the Nets trying to go for Fears, but if Fears is gone, this is probably something that is now at this point. Before we go any further, do you see any teams that like up to this point that would be willing to facilitate a trade with one another?
I would actually side-eye the Nets, like in terms of their ability to move up. Like they could do a whole bunch of things here with the number of picks and the number of players that they have, right?
Trying to get
who
up
knows?
to like 5.
Maybe Ace Bailey's their guy. Like that's what I've been thinking all day. Like I was reading all the news about Ace Bailey, and I think that's where Ace Bailey wants to go.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I think that VJ Edgecombe to the Sixers, I think that's a smoke screen right there to kind of like force some trade action or something.
Yeah, I think Atlanta's going to be another team. They have 2 picks. I think they could move up. I think you can have discussions with a Toronto or with a Houston, maybe with a Portland, maybe a Pelicans. I don't know, but I think the Pelicans are more focused on moving up.
And then you kind of explained the Kasparas thing. I don't know if you want to re-explain it.
Yeah, so like at this point, like and also like going back to the Nets, right? If Fears was available, like if he's on the board, like that's the pick right there for me. Um,
Hmm.
but that being said, Noah's out. And I have to think of it this way, right? There's a chance that I might trade quickly, right? So I need a point guard. I need a point guard, right? I need a guard. I can't have Scotty and Scotty and
Oh man.
Jamal as my only point guards on the roster, right? So I need somebody that can play the point in spot minutes, maybe backup point guard, right? And also like be able to play off the ball. Some of the players in consideration for this pick is I thought about Yegor. I mentioned that earlier, but it feels like he's not as effective without the ball. So I don't know. He might get the Pascal Siakam treatment, like not.
Yeah, he Yegor I think needs a little bit of seasoning, and I don't think we're ready to give him that seasoning.
Yeah, he can play the point for the Raptors 905 if we draft them. Um, And another thing that I considered is maybe like Derek Queen.
Yeah.
I can't like Con. I think is the best prospect available, but you already have Jacoby and Grady.
Yeah, yeah. Coach Sorber, that was a bit of a reach,
It's a
but
bit
I
of a
like it.
reach. Yep. Malawatch would have been my pick here if he was still on the board for
Yes,
Houston.
yes.
I think I know they re-signed Steven Adams, but let's be clear, we're getting the end of Steven Adams. I don't know how many minutes he's really going to be able to play. So I think Şengün needs a backup. They seem pretty set on the wings with, I'm just assuming there's no KD trade, but with Smith, with Brooks, with Eason, with Amon Thompson, Jalen Green. I think they really like Fred and want to bring him back. I don't know what they're going to do with Reed Shepard, quite honestly. But I think Sorber's a guy who can step in, similar to Şengün. He's got that old man strength, but I think Sorber's a better athlete too. And he's like 265. He's not a small guy. And if Sorber had not had the foot injury this year, he's probably going top 10, 12. He was that good at Georgetown.
Yeah.
So I know he's hurt to start the year, but that's why you just signed Steven Adams. You wait for this kid to come.
He's supposedly going to be back around training camp, so
Yep.
We'll see. But yeah, I agree, and especially coming off a tough injury like that, you want to kind of bring him on a little bit more slowly. Derek Queen, I mean, I already explained this one. I think he's a great fit on Portland. All things considered, they do have to trade off, Robert Williams, but also Robert Williams doesn't play enough games to really make it me worried about Derek Queen and playing a lot. I think also when you have Klingon, who had a fairly solid year, he's like 7-2 or whatever, and he does a little bit of everything. It's kind of the perfect guy to pair next to them, and I don't see them keeping Ayton. I don't know if Ayton's going to stay there or just walk in free agent, but in free agency, who knows? I know there are people out there that wanted Pascal Ayton swap. So here's your chance, RJ for Ayton. Yay! If that's what you're into. For me, I'm good. But yeah. Beyond Asanuel, I actually like this pick because I can totally see him going to Chicago myself, and I think I've said it on one of the mocks that I did. But yeah, what are you saying?
I mean, I kind of already made my point with that. Vucevic is not the answer at center. And provide more balance for the roster. I think he fits a lot well with Kobe White and Matthias and the rest of the guys that they're building out there. So he's perfect. And the same thing on the other one. I think I'm Con as well too. Atlanta just needs maybe someone just to knock down shots. Bogey's gone. Dyson Daniels really not a natural shooter. They just need another guy. I know they just need another guy could knock down shots. I didn't want to go with another 3 and D type guy because Risha Shea technically should be playing that role as your number one pick overall. He's expected to do more than just that, so I didn't want to bring a Carter Bryant into that mix. That's my rationale for it.
Yeah. I think, then obviously the Con Knipple thing.
Carter Bryant, I think you mean.
No, Con Knipple went to, according to this, to the Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just said about Con.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Carter Bryant's just obvious. I mean, if the Spurs or the next team that would get him, which would, in my opinion, would take him as well, is the Thunder. Like, those are perfect fits for him. I've seen him as high as Houston, and I can see it, but I also agree with Coach. Like, they might want to get another big in there long term. I know that they just re-signed what's his name, Steven Adams, but I don't think that they're entirely sold on that long term. So yeah, okay. So I think that kind of covers our mock draft. Any four one says no way. You know what? I think I couldn't see it. I actually like him. So yeah. Matt Stevens, Sorber over Malowatch. I mean, if you're talking about today, yeah. I think that's Keenan. But I think if you're talking about like as of today, if they're both healthy, but long term, I would take Malowitch. What about you guys?
Not, I don't think that's a given, but yeah, I'm not sure it's a given. Sorber's got some nice moves around the paint, man.
Yeah, you have to. If you're willing to develop Malowatch and make him a focal point in an offense, and like see what he has over the course of like 3 years, there's a chance there. But like you really have to develop it. That's my thoughts. Another thing, if this is for everyone, if Ace drops to 9, would you take him?
Yes.
Well, the question is, do the Raptors take him? I'm assuming that's. Do you think the front office takes him?
I hope so.
They better. Like we had this discussion. Like, I mean, pretty much I'll be malpractice.
So Gio says that he doesn't see the Raptors. I don't know why the Kings would want IQ, but okay. But in terms of the, because they have Devin Carter, unless they believe. I mean, maybe the Kings do it, but yeah. But in terms of would they take? So do you guys see the Raptors taking Kasparis?
I don't. Only because I think they're pretty committed. It's not so much the IQ part, the Jamal Shed part, for me anyway.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty committed to Shed and IQ. It's the question of is it? I don't think IQ is a bad player. I might not like the contract, but I think this was a situation where he was hurt a lot last year, but I still think he's a decent guard in the league. I might not like the contract, which I don't, but I still think he's a decent guy who can give this team something in terms of pull-up three-point shooting.
Mm-hmm. JD?
Sorry, what was the question?
Do you think that the Raptors would take Kasparis, basically?
I think there's a chance, but I can see them going for somebody like Noah or maybe even Carter Bryant.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just that creature of habit.
I think if Noah's there, they would take Noah. So I'll go at it with that. I don't know who this is in a second, but yeah, I think in terms of like if Noah's there, like there's certain guys like if they're there, if Malowatch is there, they will take Malowatch. If Noah is there, they will take Noah. Kasparis is like if there's no one else there and he's there, I could see them taking it, and then just trying to figure it out. So like that's really where it comes from. I think he was better at a point in the season because I think he played 6 games, then got his wrist injured. And that really impacted his shot. You can see the dip, the dip there. But yeah, so I don't know if I'm seeing someone suggest that if it's Kasparis, I'll go to you, Beyond. But I am seeing someone say that they would trade down if it's Kasparis. I don't know if I would do that if I were them, but yeah. Yeah.
Just want to say, guys, enjoy this. I got to sign off, though, right now.
Yeah.
But guys, take it easy. And, boy, I'm looking forward to this draft. And, JD, good seeing you, man. Don't be a stranger.
I'm going to
Or I
sign
bailed
off
out
for-
last time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Later, guys.
Later.
I'm take care. I'm gonna end this in the next like 5 or 10. So I won't keep you guys for too long, but I'll just answer some of these questions as they roll in and then bounce. So yeah, just someone saying, "Hey, can I join the panel?" I don't know if I really want to have this topic when I'm about to go to bed.
No.
This seems like a topic that I would need to plan for. I would say though that like old heads in basketball are probably in some ways, like especially if you look at the talking heads, they have done a disservice to the game. So yeah. But I'm like tired, so, and it's like almost 12:30 at night. So join and like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe we'll get to that another time if you come on earlier. 416 says I don't care, Queen. Are you saying that you don't care you're taking Queen? Oh, yeah, he is saying Queen. Yeah, I mean, Queen, there's a lot of directions that they can go. So there is that. So yeah. I can't say anything about this. I'll keep quiet, as you guys know. I'll just
Hopefully, I'm high on Nolan.
Yeah. I also like Nolan. I'll just say this is not far-fetched.
I think if we continued like the first round, like I would have picked him.
Yes. Would you trade back for him yourself? Like, assuming that you're getting, like, let's look at the Nets scenario. Would you rather the Atlanta scenario or the Nets? Like, who's likely to trade up for our pick?
Well, I like the Nets picks. I just want all the young guys like at the back end of the first round. But like maybe Atlanta, because they don't need two rookies. Like essentially like Risa Shea is like almost like a rookie and a half right now,
Right.
So I don't think they're gonna add way too many rookies. Like they can't even play Kobe right now. So
yeah.
I like it.
I don't understand why they got like Patty Mills right after drafting Kobe, but yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like Atlanta's what they could offer because those guys between like 8 and 14, they're all there together. Like I could see a Senge going as high as 7 or 8 and falling back to 15 as well. Or we had Carter Bryant tonight going 14.
Yeah, I agree.
13 and 22, you're getting one of those guys. Plus, at 22, it's the way this draft works, but you're at the very end of one of those guys who might be 17 or 18, and they could go fall 22. You're at the very end of it.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm under the impression that anybody, like the players or the prospects between like the 8th up until the 21st, if say for example if the Raptors draft Asa or like who else, Igor, like I'm not gonna put up a lot of fight, like they're so close, like they're so bunched together where it's really not like a big what do you call that, there's not a big differentiator between these prospects. Like it can go either way. Like the 8 to 21 can go in so many different ways.
I agree. And I mean, I'm just trying to think. I mean, yeah, like I could see them reaching for Newell. Sorber is interesting, like in terms of the Raptors. Like if they wanted to reach for a big man, I think that there's better directions that they can go in. especially in the trading down situation. So I think there's an argument to do a number of things. If they go with the net situation, I would want them to at least trade away from, like, say you're trading with the Nets, you get all three of their back half picks. Trade out of the second round. Just trade that away and trade into like a future second round. Because I think when you're looking at bringing in potentially four guys, whether or not one is going to be a two-way or not, doesn't matter. It's like it's four guys that you're bringing in. Even bringing in three guys on this team, like I think that there are ways that it can work, but it's a challenge. So that's kind of where I'm standing. Over under on Boucher coming back before we head to the close.
Coach.
I hope they better not bring him back, man. Just for his sake, don't bring him back. Don't let this guy just sit on the bench. Just if you really like Jonathan Mobo this much, just play him. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was bad. They're playing Orlando Robinson and Colin Castleton over him.
Well, they're not trying to win, so that makes sense, right?
But they were winning. That's the thing. I mean, if you're going to win, you might just play Boucher over there.
That's
final few questions. I think we're out on the KD stuff, but I'll ask it anyways. I'm not really a big proponent of the KD move, but do we get KD? No. I don't know why we're entertaining it, but yeah. JD? Okay.
No, like we're out of that race.
Yeah, I think so too. As soon as Grange pops up and starts to, it's a done deal. He's like, oh, they're waiting. He's Gio's asking if RJ is worth 2 picks. I'll give this to you guys because I already gave him my answer in comments before. So
I think depends on the team, how they see him. Possibly Bane gets you 4 and Cole Anthony and Caldwell Pope. I mean, you have to take a contract back of some sort, but
yeah. Okay. JD, your thoughts?
Well, he's worth the 3 fake first round picks by the Knicks, But really, like he's expiring, right? You could at least fetch a lottery protected pick for him, and maybe a future second or something. That's the best you can get, for somebody like that.
I don't see him being worth 2 first rounders. I think that's a little bit rich, especially since Bane, much more efficient player, much better at playing defense, and going to the right fit. I think RJ, with the amount that he needs the ball, it's just an awkward fit. So I know Gio's brought up the Thunder a number of times. I don't know why the Thunder would trade for RJ Barrett. Do you guys see a fit there?
No.
I don't either.
No.
I think that they're looking for a big wing defense. And how efficient would Bane be in Raptors' poor spacing? He would be the spacer. So his job would be to space, and he would do it at a better rate than RJ. And I don't know if I see the Hawks trading for RJ either. I mean, they have Ricochet. They have Dyson Daniels, who's a much better defender and whose offense came on. So yeah, so there's that. But the common denominator is the coaching.
Yep.
Which plays a big role in it and how you're being utilized. But I don't think that RJ there's ways to utilize RJ more efficiently, but I don't know how, it still has to be a team fit. So yeah.
Truthfully, I see him I could see maybe on Brooklyn. I actually could maybe see that. I mean, RJ, he played in New York. It's like Brooklyn's not the Knicks per se. And some Knicks fans, some of them were Nets fans. Some of them actually were like, you know what? We probably wouldn't mind RJ since he just turned 25. It could be a fit there.
The way that I look at it is RJ's probably going to get traded mid-season. I don't think that RJ's such a like. Some people are so obsessed that like they'll be like, oh, we got to trade this guy out. That like that's all they talk about. I to the point where it's like not a fun conversation. I don't think that RJ should be at that point, or treated at that level. Like he's like a solid player, but at the same time, like for me, it's the defense. In terms of the efficiency, Gio, like you could call the spacing issues all you want. He's struggling to finish at the rim. He has for the entirety of his career. The way that they guard him, they aren't just guarding him like up on him. They give him space to drive, which is incredible because he still gets to the rim. Like that in and of itself is an incredible, that's a skill, right?
Yeah.
You were gonna say?
I was just
I was
listening
going to talk
to
about the free throw numbers, by the way, because I'm like, there's no spacing that's helping you at the free throw line. You got to shoot better than 69%.
yeah, that's terrible. But I think it was Joe Wolf.
Wolf,
Yeah, Wolfond, the guy from the Score. He was on
no,
he was on one of the
no longer,
podcasts.
by the way. Rip
That's
on that
yeah.
one.
That question was brought to him about RJ,
Mm.
and they asked him about, well, what's that Nets deal? Because the Nets were looking to get into the lottery, and Raptors were one of the teams. He said, well, there's only one salary that matches up with Cam, and that's RJ. So is RJ 9 worth Cam and 18? He seemed intrigued by that a little bit. Cam, he thinks, just is a better spacer than RJ, for one. He can get a shot off a little better, which he can. And I think his logic was, how different is 18 than 9 in the draft? I think there is a bit of a difference, but I guess Cam's contract is cheaper. He's a little older, not as healthy, but there are positive and negatives to both of that trade.
Yeah. Last few questions, because again, I don't want to keep you guys for too long. Let's see. Would RJ fit on the Blazers? I don't think that they need RJ. I mean, they have. They already have Jeremy Grant. They just have a lot of guys. There are salaries that are good to trade with Portland, but like I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think
that as a no.
no. I think RJ to the Blazers is more of a free agency signing, if anything.
Yeah,
like not a trade.
As someone who
Grant is the deal, by the way, that I was thinking of for that. But yeah,
get off Grant. Yeah, if we're taking Grant's money, we have got to get their 11th pick. That's the only way I would ever consider doing that deal. That's 3 more years.
We got rid of Siakam so that we can get Grant.
Gosh. Or you could just give us Matisse Thybulle and Time Lord, because they each got 1 year left on their deal, but give me 11.
Yeah.
Any deal involving RJ in Portland has to be 11, because the contracts are just, I don't like them.
Rapid fire. Jakob Poeltl's part of. Yeah, of course, if he is, but I mean, I wouldn't have like. I said at the time, like in a vacuum, it was a good trade in a vacuum, ignoring everything else on the roster. Like every other trade that we've done, if you look at just the trade and ignoring all other factors, did you make a decent deal? There's a lot of trades that we do where you say, okay, in the moment it's a decent deal, but then when you look at the actual roster construction, it doesn't make sense. But I mean, we've known that for a while. I think I put a post out on Twitter though, or on Facebook, and the thing is like before Yak, they were trying to acquire Jarrett Allen and Rudy Gobert, so they've always been trying to acquire this type of center. So what does that say? Do you guys think that he's worth this? I think this is more speculation from Sam Vecini. I personally don't see Yak getting $30 million a year.
No, 25 max.
Yeah. JD?
See, sorry, go for it.
No, go for it.
Hartenstein got 30 million, but he's like 26 years old.
He also got $30 million with, I believe, a team option, and it's only like a 3-year deal.
Yeah, I'm kind of comparing it to that, but Pirtle's not Hartenstein.
Yeah. Hartenstein's better.
Yeah.
Hard
More
starting to show
athletic.
that he could actually play. Claxton's making, yeah, but that's different. It's again, there's context that's surrounding all of these deals,
Yeah.
and so yeah, if you're yeah, um, JD, your thoughts, and we'll close out with that
Yeah,
because I
so
really want to RJ talk
our
first.
starting five would average what, $35 million, $40 million per head, and we're probably gonna be a first round and out.
Yes.
Like, yeah, Yak is the very definition of C plus.
Good point.
Yikes.
But think
It's
about it. We
not,
can't
like,
win
it's
without
not
him.
bad, but it's not great. Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, no, Jarrett Allen is not making that money. He got $100 million over 5 years, so he got $20 million. So again, I think 25 is good. Ingram predictions. Do you mean from like a stat standpoint, man?
I'll start in this one.
Yeah, go for
25 games played.
Oh,
Okay, 30.
it. I think he'll get up to 55.
It's still gonna be 20 and 20 and 7 and 7, or
Yeah.
I mean 27 and 5. But it's 30 games.
ooh.
That is a good question. Over under on games.
Maybe we should take Ace Bailey at 9 if he falls. Man, he gets some time.
Yeah. By the way, Nick Claxton's 24 million. I just checked, so on average. So
Coach, that's why I don't get Ace Bailey, man. Like, he should go to the Sixers. There's gonna be plenty of playing time right there.
Well, I had this conversation with Beyond earlier. I think Kenyon as well.
Mhm.
I think Ace just wants to play, and
Yeah.
I think he wants lots of time. But he knows he can't be the guy in Philly, and he knows he can't be the guy in Charlotte. So I look at maybe Washington or Brooklyn. He's got a chance to play lots of minutes with those teams. I think he's just a guy who wants to hoop. And I'm not sure he probably doesn't want to go to Utah. Well, who does? But
Well, by January he'll be playing 48 minutes.
yeah, I mean, I
Oh,
hope he would
boy.
know that he would get tons of time in Philly,
Oh,
And
or
Embiid's
I
gonna
guess
get
with
hurt.
us.
do you guys think that okay? So if Scotty Barnes doesn't take the next leap, so you're assuming that he's taking the next leap. Okay. Next leap to what? Are you going back to All Star, or are we saying All NBA? But if he doesn't, after they boost his value, there. So if Barnes is not performing up to that level, why would they trade Ingram? I guess that's my question to you guys, really quickly.
I'm confused.
I'm a
Yeah.
little confused with the question. Like, are we assuming Scotty's
Yeah.
taking the leap or he doesn't take the leap?
I guess they're saying, Scotty's. So
Oh, I see.
Oh, damn. Oh, why are you doing that to the dude, bruh?
I mean, he does have to take some kind of leap. I don't know if it's 25 per game, but I think it's.
I mean, can he score like?
Can he get
18
22?
efficiently?
Can he get you 22? That's only 2 points more than more or
Coach,
less
you and
what
I
he
are like worlds apart on this dude. You're saying in the 20s. I'm like, can he score 18 efficiently?
Well, I'll be fair, and I've mentioned this to you, but I haven't mentioned to JD. He had a 10-game stretch when Siakam and Anunoby were here, where he averaged 24, 10, and 7. That was when all those guys were still here, and he went on that run in his third year. I think it was somewhere between like October and November. And
Is that
then
his Il Mago? Sorry, that was a bad.
I don't know. But I think that's where they're trying to hope that Ingram can be Siakam in that sense to him. That's my guess.
But
Yeah.
Coach, when that happened, Siakam was on a timeout.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I think that's what they're thinking is like, can Ingram open up his game because he'll be more open. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. So he says, okay, let's be fair here. Scotty, okay, so if you're doing that, then why are you suggesting even 23 points? So yeah, so you don't think he's going to take the leap at that point either? I think here's the thing with Scotty. Next year, I would like to see him score 18 points, just because there's other guys. So Ingram's here, and so he's going to take a lot more of the offensive load. So if he can score 18 points more efficiently, I'm all for it. And then get boosts in other areas, and kind of like it's going to be where he gets his points. So there's that. I mean, it's just as simple as that. And again, if a guy can't shoot off the dribble, can't create, can't do all these things, then yeah, you're not really assuming for him to do that. In terms of Ingram, I mean, I don't know. It depends on where the cap and who has cap room and stuff like that. It's a little bit far out, but he probably won't opt into his player option if he is healthy this year, and otherwise he will. But that makes it tough because it's like a Gary Trent situation where you're never really going to be able to trade him on boosted value. You're really hoping that he goes hard this year, has a 65 games, if you're going to trade him, where he was really healthy, and then he doesn't opt into his deal, and you're trading a guy who came off a good year and is healthy. If he's not healthy, that changes a lot of the calculus. I think Ingram's looking to lock down long-term money, and that comes first and foremost. And because of the cap environment, the Raptors might just be that team. So yeah. Is there anything else that you guys want to really talk about, or no, not really?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I agree because I'm getting tired. Yeah, I think that's it. It's been Basketball Rewind. Thanks for all of the questions. 401, it's good to talk to you as always. Anyone else that joined, we have a few listeners here, but yeah, it's time to go. So everyone take care and peace. And of course, like, comment, and subscribe for more of this type of content. And you'll see some draft content soon. So yeah.